Hello Libra, this is Joe and I'm going to do your Libra Singles 2020 July tarot reading. I know that was a big mouthful there and maybe I just said it kind of funny, but again, this is Libra Singles July 2020. You may be in a relationship that's kind of ending, you may be kind of casually dating or just playing things out, or you may be completely 100% single. It just depends on your situation. But I do want to point out this is an intuitive reading. I rely on the cards to inspire a spirit message to come through. And it's not going to be for everybody. It just possibly can't. I think we all realize and know that. So if it's not for you, that's okay. There's always another message to come through on another day for you. So check back. But anyway, I'm working with the Light Seers Tarot here, and if you want to figure out exactly what you got to do to win a copy of this at the end of July, just stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you about it. This is definitely my favorite deck, and I'm going to pull some cards for the recent past and kind of what brought you into July. And we're going to see, we had two cards fall out. Well, no, more than two. I'm not going to take those, sorry. I don't want more than what's intended to come through. So, but I'm going to pull some right off the top of the deck and we're going to see where we go. Temperance, nice. And I did, before I started this, I kind of felt like I could see the Two of Cups maybe in reverse, or like the Two of Cups and they were deliberately kicked over. I don't know why I keep picturing that. You have the Empress in reverse, Temperance. So you're really trying your hardest to kind of sustain yourself, to be patient, to wait some things out, I feel like. But I do keep seeing this Two of Cups to me that keeps coming through, but you have the Two of Pentacles upright. Gemini had it in reverse. But I think you're waiting for an opportunity. You're waiting for maybe some choices in your single life. You may be waiting for somebody to come around to you. You may be holding off on going towards somebody because of the fear of approaching somebody, or somebody you may be interested in, somebody you might like very much, or you might actually have a little bit of a infatuation with somebody. And nonetheless, I feel like this Temperance is really just kind of waiting things out, trying to maintain an emotional balance and not to obsessively think about it. But the Empress is in reverse, and so to me this is saying that you're waiting for something to manifest with this person. And the Two of Pentacles, I feel like you're impatient. You're going back and forth with this in your mind, and I definitely feel like this is the direction that you're going in July. You're coming out of June, going into July with this kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity to approach somebody that you are definitely very drawn to. But I do feel like the Two of Cups, that I keep seeing it, whether it's in reverse or not, but I just see it like the cups have been kicked over, and I feel like you might be moving on a little too quickly from another relationship that's over with, and it might be out of just trying to maybe just say, you know, like, I can move on and I don't have to get stuck on you. I'm not stuck on you. I see, I'll show you. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. But you have the Sun in July, and boy, let me tell you, not only is it a literal hot July, but this is a great time for you to experience growth, being empowered, being at your best. I think is entirely possible in July. But I would say don't put too much focus on what hasn't manifested or what isn't meant to be, because there might be something else that you could miss if you're overly focused on somebody or something that maybe might be too good to be true, or it might be for the wrong reasons. And I feel like that's a message that needs to come through for somebody, because it might just be out of spite that you're trying to push things forward too fast. And to me, Temperance is saying just pump the brakes, wait things out, let things wrap up, let anything unfinished wrap up, and things will naturally manifest and occur on their own in their own timing. And to me, that Empress in reverse, you know, that'll work itself out, and some new things will begin to form and develop. You won't feel so impatient with yourself or with the situation. And if you allow that just to progress naturally, you have the Sun here. This is universal empowerment. This is the universe or God. This is Source, Spirit, what have you. This is in being in accordance or in agreement with you that what you want is good for you, and it wants you to have that also. But it has to be for the right intention and the right reason, and I think you probably know that. So if any of you are kind of like on a rebound type of situation, don't push it. Just let things settle, and you'll be okay. You will find bliss in July, and it'll be there for you, and it won't be something you have to work so hard at. Because if something has gone wrong or bad in your past with somebody, and if they have done something that has caused you some grief and some pain, that there's a funny way of things actually working out if we don't interfere, and if we try to force karma or take revenge, it's always going to backfire. So Five of Wands. Okay, like I said, something is going to backfire, and it's funny how cards come out when sometimes they're just saying things. I think the Sun this represents two potentials for me in this reading. In sometime in the middle of July, to me the Sun is, you could have it all if you're patient, if you do things with purity, with good intentions, and not out of spite because you want to show somebody else you're better off. That's all going to play out naturally. The other potential for me excuse me, here is the Five of Wands, which represents conflict, and I think this conflict isn't necessarily a direct conflict word for word with somebody else, but to me this is this is a proxy battle that you might be having with somebody from your past. So you might actually think you're fighting with somebody, showing them that how well you're doing or how good you're doing, and they might not even be paying attention. So karmically, I feel like this is like the two paths, and I'm actually going to pull some cards for these two, because I think that's the direction this reading is going. You have the Six of Cups. You have choices. You have opportunities. You do have things that you want that are entirely possible. So you have visions and dreams that you see for yourself that you do get to pick from, you do get to choose from, and it's not something that you really have to really compete with or work at. So I don't know, that message is probably for somebody here if you feel like you're in a competition or just to show somebody how well you're doing. But the Sun, you have Judgment in reverse. So you might feel like that, despite how well you're doing, you might be overly focused on this person that you've dealt with in the past, and your ex, or however you want to refer to this person, especially if they've been less than, up to par. You might feel like, even though things are going very well for you, if you choose the right path, if you choose the high road, you might actually feel like they're not getting what they deserve. But it isn't up to you or anybody else to decide what they deserve. So you might feel like things just didn't really play out fairly, or they should have gotten a kick in the butt that they didn't get. So I do see that as kind of a potential pitfall for you. You have the Four of Swords in reverse, and I do see this as having a lot of positive things potentially coming through for you in July going into August, but you might not be seeing the bright side, and it might just be kind of agitating to you. So to me, I feel like there has to be some release, something you have to let go in order to really just experience July going into August at its fullest. And things do turn around if you can do things without being hung up on your person that you are no longer with. And you have the King of Wands. I think overall this is a good, to me it's a good example of just accepting things as they are. Don't get hung up on them. The Four of Swords is in reverse, and so this should be a time for you to be enjoying yourself. And if you were looking at them and saying they're not getting what they deserve or what's coming toward them, it might rob you of some of your peace unnecessarily. But you have the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands is loyal, true, passionate, honest, upfront. And I think that what comes through for you in July, if you take the high road, is definitely what you can expect to be in the end the best outcome. It's just feeling good, feeling free, feeling released, and letting it go. The Five of Wands, if you know, I feel like I said, this is two potential outcomes for you, two paths. If you kind of get hung up on them, or if it becomes some kind of proxy battle where you know, you're not really directly fighting, but in a way you're kind of doing things just because. And so you have the King of Cups in reverse. It's emotionally draining. It's going to just rob you of your peace, and it's going to be something that's going to you know, kind of set you back. Let's see what else comes through for you, Libra. You have the Two of Swords. So again, I feel like you're just going to have confusion, and you're going to have just a hard time overall if you kind of decide to engage with them, whether directly or indirectly. But I feel like this might be indirectly, just trying to show them you know, what for, because whatever they did is kind of had to have you kind of get back into balance, and just to you know, start over again. But I think that your best bet is just to release things, let things play out. Temperance is, to me, a good card. It's just saying, you know, pump the brakes, let things play out. Don't do anything out of trying to just teach somebody a lesson or give them a hard time, or just for the wrong reasons. I feel some of you might be just kind of caught up in wanting to show somebody, and I know I've said that over and over, but I feel like it's an important message that just I keep hearing. And the Two of Pentacles here, I think you can release this. I think you can let it go, and you can have the Sun, but you know, just to focus on your outcome being good, and who cares about them. I just see this as two potential outcomes, and you get to choose the path. And the path of peace and prosperity and fulfillment is bringing new things your way with the King of Wands. It definitely brings, could be bringing somebody into your near future that is more suited to you, with your ideals, your beliefs, your kind of intellectual level, but also on an emotional level. This is Wands, and so I feel like this could be definitely some type of physically coming together with somebody in July. It definitely looks that way to me. And you have the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and I think this is you know, just a new start for you, and it feels good. It feels empowering, and I think that links up with the Sun. It's this empowerment for you in July. So Libra, we're going to see here, we're going to wrap it up because I kind of went over, and we're going to see what we have for you with these cards, what kind of message we can get to top it off. If you want a chance to win this deck that I was working with first at the beginning of August, this will be over at the end of July. Just comment below that you're a subscriber and let me know, and I'll enter you in that automatically. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead, subscribe, and I will make sure that you are included in the drawing. So you have to go the distance, so don't give up on things so easily. Just know that whatever happens in this, that you do get the better end of things. Just take that high road. Don't fall into any traps that you know, any traps that kind of trying to have this some kind of battle that isn't really real with your person of the past. You know, don't do anything to show them, but go the distance for yourself and for what's for your highest good, because in that there is some reward coming out for you in the near future. And TikTok, I think this is saying you know, again, go the distance, and this essence or feeling of time is of the essence. I think that it's important to just get balanced, get centered, and focus as much as you can on yourself and not on anything of the past, what your person from the past is doing. Because it's going to speed up your manifestation. It's going to speed up your timeline playing out in your favor, and overall it's going to be something that will benefit you in the end. So Libra, that's it. That's what we have for you. I'm going to end it here and say have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.